Hey, what's going on, you guys? It's your boy RCMrtnz and welcome to another episode here on my channel. Before I continue, if you see something weird on my face, I just went and had a massage. Yes, I get those. Anyways, what am I gonna talk to you guys about today? I know a lot of you guys have been anticipating this video. A few days ago, I went to my Houston trip, and that's where I purchased those tickets. If you guys haven't seen that video about SKIPLAGGed and all the questions that I had, you could click somewhere over here to go and get yourself informed. This video is going to be the review, the aftermath, the story time of SKIPLAGGed and my experience that I had just last week. So without further ado, let's get this video started. Okay, so I went on my trip. Quickly about SKIPLAGGed. SKIPLAGGed is this website in where you type in what trip you're looking to find, and it gives you flights that have hidden cities. So for example, my trip to Houston, they found me a trip from Toronto to Jacksonville, Florida, and the layover was Houston. I believe I paid about $140 for a one-way. So for me, I would take the flight from Toronto, get to the layover, which is Houston, and then get off and do my thing. So I ended up buying these tickets. On the way back, it was from Houston to Calgary, and the layover was Toronto. In total, I spent about $370 for both flights. If I would have found a trip from Toronto to Houston round trip, at the time that I bought these tickets, they were going over $700. So I saved a lot of money. Okay, so now back to the day of the flight. No, you know what? Let's backtrack. Everybody had questions, right? So some of the doubts that people were putting in my head were, how about if my carry-on, the flight is full and they say you're gonna need to check it in? That's gonna be an issue for me, because if I were to check in a luggage or my carry-on, it's gonna be going to the final destination, which is not where I want to go. So that was one of my concerns that I didn't want to happen. But I have a cousin that works at the airport and I talked to her about it. I have a coworker that her brother-in-law works for customs, because that was another concern that I had. Everything ended up, you know, like they told me that I shouldn't worry about anything, that people do this all the time. But in regards to the carry-on, what my cousin ended up doing, I don't know if I'm allowed to say, but she was able to get me seats closer to the entrance, so I wasn't gonna be forced to check in my bags. So shout out to my cousin. All right, so with that said, let's go and talk about the day of the flight. My flight was at 2:30. We get to the airport, my brother and I, everything is fine. We don't have any luggage, so we had just one carry-on, a backpack each, and we walked straight to security. In security, two things happened. So for the ones that don't know, my mom likes to bake and cook and all that stuff. So every time that we go to the States to visit our family, we either bring cookies, bread, sweet bread, or whatever. One of the things that my mom did was semita, which is pineapple bread, to take to the family. So that was in my carry-on, obviously, because we don't have any other luggage. Half of my carry-on was legit that bread. My carry-on got stopped, and my brother's bag was also put on that same side. So we were all like, I knew what mine was about, but we didn't really know about my brother's. The first one up was my brother. They take out what I had put in there was a clear bag of a bunch of little shampoos, soap, deodorant, toothpaste, and stuff. But one of the things that I put in there was, I have this thing that I got from my barber for my hair. It was a bigger bottle, but it was like halfway. Thought that I was gonna be able to sneak it in. That wasn't the case, so it went in the garbage. Next up, it was my bag. They didn't even like open up the actual packaging of the bread. They just asked me what that was. I told them it was pineapple bread. They said it was okay. Cool, we were done. Pack everything back up. Move on to customs. So we go to customs. Lineup wasn't that bad. At this point, we were pretty much, I'm gonna say an hour or a little bit, an hour and 15 before we started boarding. So whatever, we go to customs, we do our thing there, and we line up. There's the guy, the officer. He asks us where we're going, how long we're gonna be there. What the odd part for me this time around was, they started asking us, you know, where we worked, what we did, and all that stuff. And at the same time, they wanted us to scan our fingerprints. That was flag number one. So we're answering everything to the officer while we're doing our fingerprints. Next thing I know, the officer gets up. So we're like, okay, but he has our passports in his hand. He closes the gate so nobody else comes, and he says to follow him. So I was like, this is not good. In my head, I was like, is it because of the skip lag situation, or is it just a random check? The first thing that the officer told me while we're walking is that our last name was common, which is Martinez, and that was the end of it. It was kind of embarrassing because people that are lining up or that are in with other officers, they get to see you walking into this door. So whatever, we go into this door. There's a bunch of pictures of the states. So there's a bunch of chairs. We were the only ones there. There was a TV, so thank you guys for providing a TV while we're waiting. The officer says, have a seat. We will take, you know, it's gonna take a while. The first thing that I do, because I'm like, if they're gonna be asking us questions about Houston, let me take out my phone and have all the proof ready, you know, just in case they ask any questions. And the first thing my brother was like, you can't be on your phone. And then I look out on the wall and it says, you're being video recorded, you're being audio recorded, and you can't be on your phone. So I was like, okay. So I put my phone, like, it legit was like taken out, put it back in, like nothing was done. We weren't really nervous because, again, we have nothing to hide. The one thing was the skip lag thing, so we could have explained that, but in reality, I mean, there was nothing that, if they thought we were drug dealers, I don't know what it is. 5 minutes pass, 10 minutes pass,
15 minutes pass, 20 minutes pass,
and I'm like, shit, okay, we have like half an hour to board now, and I'm like, I don't want to miss our flight. Like, my brother started getting pissed off in the sense of like, you know, we paid all this money, if you don't hurry up, we might miss our flight, and what's gonna happen now, right? So that was our only concern. Between 20 and 25 minutes, a different officer comes in with just my passport. Throughout all this time, I didn't know that the reason we were being sent there was because of me. I thought it was both my brother and myself, but it was because of my passport. So the guy comes, he's like, where are you guys going? I'm like, Houston, we're going for my cousin's wedding. And he asked us the address of where we were staying. He goes, I don't have it anywhere in file, so I want to know where you're going. And I'm like, I have the address on my phone, could I show it to you? He's like, yes. So it was a chat with me and my cousin, so it's legit. He sees it and he goes, okay, you're free to go. He walks us out through this other place, gives me my passport, and he goes, you're free to go. I guess now that I'm thinking of it, I should have asked the questions as to why we were really there, but I feel like that would have just caused unnecessary issues with the officer. Maybe I'm running out of battery. The officer left, we walked to our gate, and maybe not even 5 minutes of us getting to our gate, they started boarding. If it would have been another 10 minutes, we probably would have missed our flight. Thank goodness that didn't happen. You know, you start asking the questions. Did this happen because of skip lag? Maybe on file, they said that it showed that we were going to Jacksonville. I don't know. It could have been that, maybe not. I don't want to tell you guys not to use it, because at the end of the day, we ended up saving money, and that was the only thing that really was an issue. It ended up turning out good. You know, we didn't have any issues with our flights. There was no delays. Our carry-on wasn't checked or any of that type of stuff. Like, it wasn't left behind. Besides this thing that I just told you guys, it was a successful flight, and I recommend SKIPLAGGED. Would I use it again? Yes, I will. If I could save 50% of a flight, I'm gonna do it again. For people that tend to bring a lot of things to a trip, this might not be for you because you need a luggage. One thing that I will say, this is more for short trips, maybe like no more than 4 days. Obviously, you won't be able to fit that much stuff in a carry-on. Keep that into perspective if you think about using SKIPLAGGED. If you guys have any questions regarding SKIPLAGGED, let me know in the comments below. Overall, it was great seeing the family in Houston. Congrats to Alberto and Dalia on their wedding. It was a short but sweet trip. If you enjoyed this video and this review, story time, whatever this is, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. This is the video. This was your boy RCMrtnz. Se me cuidan, be good, and I'll see you guys in another video just in time before my camera turns on. Peace.